Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be casting a beady eye over my favourite critter from Doom 3's delicious expansion, Resurrection of Evil. Damn, I love Doom 3, unabashedly and sincerely. After Doom and its 1994 sequel, D3 is my absolute favourite in the series. I love its thick, goopy atmosphere, razor-sharp sound design, and slower horror bent, which I feel is the perfect foil to the bang-bang zoom of the previous installments. Id got pretty damn ballsy when redesigning their own monsters in D3. Love them or hate them, you can't deny that they have a style that's instantly recognisable and unique to the game. Personally, I absolutely adore these beasties. Their animations are graceful, their modelling is top-notch, and I still find them capable of generating genuine scares, which is just lovely. However, the new original monsters fed into the game, especially those in the expansion, are on another level. Vulgars with their cyan explosions and acrobatic antics, Forgotten Ones with their distinct yet familiar design, and the sheer gamey fun of the Hell Hunters. But there's one chunky dude that literally stands head and shoulders above all the rest. The Bruiser. Let's cut him open and see what makes him tick. In this video, I'm going to provide my understanding of this monster by considering it from the following angles. General, what it is and how it operates. Combat, how it functions in a fight and how to take it down. Design, what it looks like. And thoughts, where I apply a creative interpretation of the beast or elements of it and do a bit of a think. My impressions are drawn entirely from playing on the veteran difficulty and via playing the original version of the expansion. Not the BFG edition, because BFG changed a whole bunch of things and altered fights and stuff, and it can go get nicked. Seriously, they wiped the Green Island in the final level? It's a scandal! I personally like juggling the flashlight because it's a core gameplay mechanic, and it's a piece of piss to get the original to play in 1080p. You just gotta doctor the Doom config CFG anyway. Steam's got a lot of solid guides on how to do this, and I encourage you to do it too. Let's dive in. Bruisers are 100% demonic beef. They exist as a jolly amalgam of a Mancubus and a Hell Knight. They shoot the same projectiles as Manx and sport some beautifully grotesque prostheses akin to everyone's favourite demonic salad dodger, but their build is far closer to that of a Knight, although they don't seem to be as tall. They've got less health than both Manx and Knights, apparently possessing 825 HP, where Manx have got 1000 and Knights have 900, excusing the initial pair of Knights faced in Doom 3, which have 1400 HP apiece. This means that they can take a serious amount of punishment. And indeed, they can deal so much damage with their endless fireball flurries. More on this later. Bruisers first make their appearance about halfway through the expansion in the level Phobos Labs Sector 2. Once you've re-entered the main area after grabbing James Owen's PDA, there'll be a very familiar susurration. A chorus of harsh whispers fills the air and a whirling orange maelstrom rips the fabric of reality as a hellish monstrosity gates in. What an entrance. I can still vaguely recall my first time playing ROE, and the reveal of this new monster genuinely took me by surprise. When I saw the orange whirl of a demon gating in, I assumed it might have been a knight or yet another revenant. Seriously, this expansion reaches near Plutonia levels of boner boys. However, no, it was this new breed. And I didn't know what to do besides fumble about, get stuck on a crate, and swallow the furious thread of fire he sent my way. Everything about them makes me goggle in wonder. Their size, their TV mouths, and how their thunderous footsies make the floor shake. A+ gold star stuff. I quickly reloaded my save, playing back through the rev and vulgar ambush that preceded the Bruiser, made sure my weapons were all primed, and did a big think. How best to tackle this fresh foe? Despite how beastly Bruisers can be, they aren't that difficult to take down. Really, it all depends on how much of a challenge you wish to give yourself when engaging them. I went for the most challenging path when first playing, and I still like to take this route because I find it more fun. But I'm gonna break down 4 different options. Option 1, slow and careful. Use the environment to your advantage and snipe from afar. Bruisers will fire upon you as soon as you're in their sight. I could be wrong, and I'm more than willing to be wrong, but they seem to be the only monster that will fire while also traveling. Instead of moving and then pausing to shoot, they'll fire off alternating barrels from their arm cannons in lots of 2 or 4, sometimes changing course but always heading towards you. They might be slow, but they travel with an awful inevitability, like a tsunami of fire and fury. So, take the teeth out of their fireball hell by reducing your visibility. Duck in and out of cover while sending out controlled bursts from your plasma, chain gun, or machine gun. Hitting them in their TV mouths seems to do the most damage and offers you an easily readable target. It'll also make them reliably flinch, sometimes giving you a split-second window to change hiding spots. Lead Mr. Big into the area you grabbed the PDA from and use the door and wall corners to cut down the danger of his fireballs. Keep slapping his telly face and he'll ash up before too long. Option 2. Moderately quick and not so careful. As previously mentioned, but with explosives. The rocket launcher is actually really effective against bruisers, but do make sure you're not standing in a doorway when firing. The door may close and you'll end up with egg on your face and your face on the walls. 3 well-placed rockets seems to do the trick. Besides doors, also be mindful of environmental debris that could snag your rocket or the bruiser's fireballs. If your rocket collides with one, it'll explode mid-air. This is worth keeping in mind when choosing any of these options. You can shoot his fireballs, which is true for most, if not all, projectiles in the game. When doing so, I would suggest the plasma as it seems to be the most effective. The fireballs will veer off target and then detonate when hitting a surface. Do make sure you apply plenty of oomph when strafing around the fireballs, as they have splash damage which can really eat away at you. Option 3. Very quick and not at all careful. Get up in his grill and give him a taste of your sweet, sweet SSG. If you wish to choose this option, the option I like to favor as it's thrilling as heck, make sure your dodge game is on point. You'll need to weave in and out of his constant barrage of fire, shoot his TV mouth, dodge back to reload, weaving again, then shimmy in once more for the second killing blow. It's not particularly easy, but it sure is fun and truly satisfying. Option 4. Doing what the game probably wants you to do, aka being a big chicken. This one calls for the artifact, the Heart of Hell, the Bloodstone. By this point, you would have faced and killed 2 of the 3 Hell Hunters, stuffing their magic powers into your metaphorical knapsack. Simply activate the Bloodstone, which of course slows down time to a crawl, and then give him a single biff on the beak with your manly berserk fists. I mean, it's still satisfying, overwhelming his superior strength with your demonic throbbing gristle, and I actually did find it very useful when facing multiple bruises, so it's good. It's good. It just feels a little cheaty sometimes. So I still like to lock horns properly, as I feel the monsters deserve a more challenging death via combat than via some Matrix-inspired slap and tickle. The design of the Bruiser is a thing of beauty. It slots in perfectly with the aesthetic of the game, being half chonky demon and half mechanical monstrosity. Let's consider the demon parts first. On its gristly head grows a pair of cruel curved horns, which pleasantly remind me of the complete sigil from Strife. Nice! Its recessed, burning yellow eyes flicker faintly in their sockets, hinting at the bottomless pit of burning, hellish hatred smouldering within. Its mouth is of course obscured, but we'll circle back to this. Its torso is a rippling wall of muscle with no obvious sex organs. Although, what the hell's going on there? From here, 2 thick Schwarzenegger thighs sprout forth, tapering down to yet more mechanical alterations. Its arms sport grotesque musculature with bulging biceps that are again rudely interrupted by the addition of further machinery. 2 yellowish arm cannons. Its back is fairly unadorned, save for the machinery covering its spine. And its bottom is as flat as a tack. No 1993 cyber cheeks here. This is where the Bruiser's natural form ends, and we must turn our gaze to its enhancements. First, the face. I'm kind of lost for words when considering its TV mouth. It's such a bizarre and beautiful bit of design, and indeed it originally would have served quite a spicy purpose. Apparently when first encountering these guys, you would have approached a normal looking screen only to have it, through a cutscene I guess, transform into a bruiser. I like to imagine the mouth prosthesis sticking out of a tech wall, which would then bulge and crumble and get blasted away, revealing this gorgeous hunk of spunk. It's a pity this didn't eventuate and he just spawns in instead, but ah well. The TV gob's got a nice set of weights tied to it, so it bobs and swings around as the monster moves, the connecting mechanism presenting as strong, yet flexible. I really love this attention to detail. Speaking of details, it's hard to see in-game unless you're really eagle-eyed, but when they spot you, the TV will present the image of a great, staring eye, accompanied by a bellow of rage. This eye will turn into the hellraisery gnashing teeth and gums, which will periodically champ up and down. When injured, the screen displays what looks like a close-up of diseased flesh, a red, blotchy, cancerous mass. Super gross. Above the connecting apparatus is a set of 2 golden rings that travel around the tubes to connect with the Bruiser's chest. They don't seem to have any special significance except looking sweet. As mentioned, the 2 arm cannons have a yellowish housing with grey wires and tubes occupying the lower exposed portion. This is me making assumptions about the design here, but I feel like the lower part of the cannon's front houses a fuel canister, and the upper holes act as release valves with the middle portion acting as a source of ignition for the fuel. Could be wrong, but that's what I like to think anyway. Its legs bear a striking resemblance to the classic cyber demon stomp and hoof from yesteryear. I love how there's just the hint of the feet being cloven, or split, like that of a typical gross barnyard aminal. Perhaps these metal booties are more like strengthening power armor than actual prosthetic legs, allowing them to crush victims with one swift stomp. However, this idea is quickly dismissed by seeing the flesh on their lower thighs has been peeled away and doctored, returning me again to the idea of mechanical peg legs. Yar. The Bruiser has what looks like a futuristic oxen yoke slung over its shoulders. This joins their facial enhancement and the strip that runs down their spine, which in turn makes me think of Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2. Good shit. So, I've chewed over what they do in-game, how they act, how they attack, and what their design tells me. But now it's time to stare deep into my navel and throw out some wild ideas that could either be cringe or dangerously insightful. I'll let you decide. So, why are they all dolled up in mechanical bits and bobs? Is it because these monsters are born lame and have deformed limbs unsuitable for combat, which are ultimately lopped off and replaced with metal? Is it just to make these Hell Warriors even stronger? My idea is much stranger and probably a bit too out there for most people's tastes, but it's something I've thought of since playing Doom 3 originally, and indeed Doom in general, as biomechanical foes have been around since the first game. Okay, I reckon that when Hell reaches out and touches a place, ripping holes in space-time to gate in and out of locations, they leave a bit of themselves behind and take a bit of the places they've touched with them. This, over time, affects certain demons to such an extent that their bodies start to mutate, just as the places they attack start to get hellified. As the focal point here is a tech base, their bodies start to become one with tech, a bit like in that movie Virus. Good old Jamie Lee. If, say, demons were to invade a different part of human history like ancient Rome, some of their bodies might sport elements of marble, bronze, or wood. Now that would be cool. So that's why I think bruisers and other certain demons are all clanky. But I guess them being mechanically juiced up via demonic surgery to make them stronger makes more sense. In terms of their position in the game, bruisers are elite soldiers of hell. Heavy hitters crafted and gated in to put some dirt in your eye. No doubts about any of that. As they're fairly rare, only 11 of them in the entire expansion on veteran difficulty, I like to think of the Maledict cooking up just a small batch of them, assuming that it would only need a teeny army to take care of business and get a hold of that bloodstone. What a moron! It's gonna take more than 11 telly-headed goons to stop Resurrection of Evil Guy. Much more. So those are some of my ideas, but dang it, I'd like to hear some of yours. Have you crafted a backstory for this demon, or indeed any enemy from Doom 3 or its expansion? Tell all in the comments section below. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Bruisers rule, Doom 3 rocks, and I'll catch you next time. Although, what the hell's going on there?